Sardines, they're high in protein and full of omega-3, so that means they are good for you. And I'm going to show you a Sicilian way of preparing them. These are Sicilian patties. You'll need some sardines. So these are sardines in oil. Fantastic for this recipe. And we're just going to drain off the oil and use a fork to do this because we want to crush them together. So just separate them and then I'll place them in the bowl with the other ones. So with your fork, just really break that up. Because they're so oily, they're going to stick nicely as we make these patties. And they've got a Sicilian vibe going because we add a combination of pine nuts, so a good handful of pine nuts that have been toasted, and some currants. Now these currants have just been sitting in some warm water. I do that just to soften them. We don't want the water in there, so just give them a good squeeze. And I prefer to use currants rather than sultanas because they are so small, so they're going to hold nicely in our patties. So a couple of spoonfuls of that, along with the zest of 1 lemon. Loads of lemon zest, so really punchy flavours in this recipe. All right, looking good. A few more binding agents, 1 egg, I'll crack that in, and some fresh breadcrumbs. So a few good handfuls of fresh breadcrumbs. I've always got a little bit of bread on standby, particularly sourdough. Don't throw it out. Just cut off the crust, blend it, and you can make fresh breadcrumbs. So let's give it a mix. I haven't added all the breadcrumbs because I want to see the consistency of it. A few more ingredients, some onion. Now don't chop the onion for this recipe. Make sure you grate it, and I'm grating half an onion, and we'll add that. Speaking of another binding agent, generous handful of Parmesan. Okay, again, using that fork, we're going to combine everything together. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Some herbs. I've got a combination of mint and parsley. Oregano is another great herb to add to this. So with the parsley, don't get rid of those lovely stalks because there's so much flavour in there. We'll just gather it together and finely chop. We'll need about 1 to 2 tablespoons of each herb. So now with our mint, these are big leaves, we're just going to pop them on top of each other, scrunch it up again, and then we'll chop them together. Love the smell of fresh mint. Okay, run your knife through it a few times so they're blended nicely, and then straight into our bowl of sardines. Okay, so before we start to mix this in and form the balls, we want to preheat a pan. We want this on a medium to high heat. I'm going to shallow fry these, so in lots of good quality extra virgin olive oil. You want to coat the base of a pan, so you want it to be about 1 centimetre deep. So we'll warm that up and I'll continue stirring this through. The smell of the mint with the sardines, I just think it's a fantastic combination. Okay, this is a great opportunity to see if this is sticking. So grab a bundle. You can use a tablespoon measure if you like, so they're all even, or just do what I'm doing, free form. Press them together, and if they hold their shape quite nicely, which they are, then it's perfect. These aren't going to take long at all in the oil. I'll give it about 30 seconds to a minute on each side until they're golden. These look so perfect. Little patties. You can make bigger ones too and serve them as a main course. I'm just serving these almost like as a little hors d'oeuvre where you can just pass around and everyone can have a taste. I like to serve this with some mayonnaise or some aioli, and I think a little lemon is a must. So that lemon that we've reserved, a cheek of that on the side. And there you have it, gorgeous little patties made with tinned sardines. They're full of flavour and they're good for you.